Hey, what's up guys, how are you today? Welcome to my vlog. Now I don't have anything in particular to talk about, but I do have something to share. And I've been on a ride with my niece today, so I'm coming back from my brother. And she was like sitting on the tablet and everything. He's like, yeah, put your socks on and then we're going for a ride. You have to get used to, you know, bikes and everything. And also you have to get used to riding with me. If you want to go-karting with me, you need to know how to behave on the bike and stuff like that. You know, you need to get used to sitting on the bike, getting on, off, and then so on. And another thing is getting accustomed to bikes is another thing when if she wants to ride herself. That's another thing. So literally just told her, yeah, dress up and we'll go for a ride. So I will show you some footage of that probably. With some maybe music or something. I don't know if you can see her in my mirrors or something, but yeah, she's clinging onto me basically. And because my brother's helmet is S, so it fit her rather well, which I was a bit surprised that his size is S, mine's L basically. And so we used my brother's helmet and his jacket, because his jacket is also smaller than mine obviously, so we used that as well, and it was a bit too big, so I know that she needs XS at least or something, or like kids jacket or something like that. But in overall she was fine. Didn't have any boots or pants because I didn't expect to grab her onto bike today, but I was doing low speed and she had the most basic and most important rather equipment on her, I suppose. So it's not that bad, I guess. And yeah, I was extra careful with everything I was doing, kind of thing. So you will see some videos, I suppose. I will put some clips, like a few minutes, put some music into it, because I didn't talk. Just sometimes talk to her, but you know, didn't talk overall, as in that wasn't a vlog. Yeah, so enjoy that, and then I'll continue kind of my plans. I'll tell you about my plans and so on with her, basically. Alright, so as you probably saw the video, I mean, there's not much to explain. She was just clinging on to me. We rode around some streets and so on, just for her to get used to the bike, sitting with me on the bike rather. So it's nothing major, I suppose. I mean, I'm not a proponent of a guy who's taking kids without proper gear, but I just literally ordered some stuff, and that's why I have something to talk about. So I ordered a new helmet for her, so it's gonna be for her. I chose the S size because it's smaller actually than my brother's. My brother's is a Scorpion helmet, which I think the size is like 55 to 56. How close that? 55 to 56 size, but it's S for some reason. But the one I ordered for her is 34, 35 or something like that, or something like that. I don't remember. I think it's smaller, so we'll see. If it's too small, if it's too big rather, I'll order XS. But I think because it's kind of, I want to buy it like in mind for the future kind of thing as well. It's not very expensive. It used to cost like 150 quid, but I'm buying it because it has good ratings. So first of all, it's a fiberglass helmet, which I'm surprised as hell, to be honest. It's an MT helmet, MT whatever, I don't know, it's just MT, called MT. I mean, there is like a name for it, like replicant or whatever, I don't know, I don't remember that name. But it's a fiberglass helmet. There's no sun visor, but in her case, she doesn't need that. At least at the moment, and for 2 years she won't, because she will either ride around with me, so she doesn't need a sun visor, or she will go-karting with me, which you don't need a sun visor over there either. So you have fiberglass helmet with 4-star sharp rating, which is pretty good, and it costs only 90 quid. And that's why I was buying it. Because otherwise, if it was like thermoplastic and even like 3 or 4 stars, I would like think about maybe it's not good enough or something. But with fiberglass, which is a bit better material, I suppose, I mean, I have nothing to complain about this helmet. I mean, and they only had S and SX or XS or something like that. I don't know, the extra small and small sizes for that helmet. And they discontinued most of them, so they have limited stock as well. And I suppose that's why they're selling it so cheaply. But the price used to be £150, so it's not a bad helmet by the price standard kind of thing. For a first helmet kind of thing, I don't think it's a bad helmet. Now you have to remember that she's 14 and she's not going to ride around by herself for another at least 2 years. So that's something to think about. And when she's gonna ride with me, obviously I'm gonna take much more caution while riding with her. So my acceleration is slower, my braking is sooner and stuff like that. It's like when I ride with a passenger, I've always think about the passenger behind me. So it's like I can go sometimes a bit faster and so on over the speed limit when I'm by myself, but when I'm with a passenger, especially a kid, I stand in traffic, I don't filter and stuff like that. So it's like I think more about the person behind me rather than about myself. Let me close that. And in that regard, I think the helmet she's gonna have is pretty good for a first-time helmet. So I'm pretty chuffed with that. So long it fits. If it doesn't fit this one and it's too loose, then I'll get her an XS, which is extra small, and I think that should be perfect fit then. But we will see with the one I ordered, which is S size. I thought I'll order S. Maybe if it's a bit not perfect, then she will grow into it basically. She's only 14, so I suppose, you know, with time her head's gonna grow a bit, kind of thing, right? So it's not gonna be the same size as it is right now. And so, yeah, that's why I ordered, and it's gonna come on Monday, so I'll bring it to her maybe next week, so I'll make it a video about that, maybe like riding with her again. And then I also ordered boots for her, because she doesn't have any riding boots. And I thought, you know, any riding boots Like leather with some protection is better than like trainers, obviously. It's much better. So I ordered a pretty cheap, like 40 quid, not expensive. But we'll check if the size is correct, because I don't know about the sizes for kind of kids, because she's still a kid. So I don't know about the sizes for kids, because I ordered 36 size, which is, I have no idea, because the chart didn't show me. I have no idea what that is in UK sizes, basically. So I have no idea. It's like 4, 3.5, I don't know. It's like, don't ask me, I have no idea, because the chart didn't even show it. So I ordered them, we'll check, and if it's too big or too small, then I will figure out what to buy for her, basically. But then, yeah, it will take longer, but at least, you know, she will have some sort of boots in the very short future, kind of thing. Dude, I'm letting you in, or are you just forgetting to turn off your indicator? Yep, you forgot to turn off your indicator. Or rather, it didn't turn it off itself by itself. That's another thing with the indicators of cars. Normally they will turn themselves off with the steering wheel, but sometimes they don't, and they can have a mistaken indicator. It's a bit windy today, to be honest. It's closed. It's closed. You probably can hear me, because I tested that a few times and my mic is really tucked in. It's really well hidden, so you can probably hear me quite well compared to the wind noise I'm hearing. You'll probably hear some wind noise, I suppose. That guy is sitting on my ass, but I literally have no space to give you space, mate. Now this will be my chance to give you space, I suppose. That's what I was thinking. You know, he's like, he's gonna sit on someone else's ass now, so it's not my problem. Yeah, so I ordered a new helmet and new boots for her, and we'll see how that performs. I mean, the helmet, like I said, it's a 90 quid empty helmet. I don't know, it's replicant or whatever, I don't know the name. It's like, don't care about the name really. But it is discontinued helmet, so there's no new stock as far as I'm aware. And therefore only certain sizes are left in their stores. So basically, yeah, that's what you get. So if one of them fits, that's great. Because it's a good offer. I mean, fiberglass helmet, light for kids. Kids will complain when they have 1.5 kilogram helmets on their head. But if it's 1.3 or 1.2, it's much better. Because when she took my brother's helmet, she complained that it's heavy. So that's already telling me that, yeah, probably kids, yeah, obviously not adults. Therefore, I don't know if I'm gonna overtake that guy. Maybe not. Because the exit is soon, so I'll just stick behind him at 40. In 4th gear, perhaps. So yeah, we'll check that, and then once she has her own helmet and boots, that's already much better. I mean, she can use my or my brother's jacket, that's fine. It's just the trousers, so that's a bit more annoying, I suppose. It's very hard to buy for a kid, especially if you choose. I mean, you can choose the ladies kind of section. It's like, I don't know if the pants gonna be long enough or short enough. I don't know. It's like, literally don't know. I don't buy for kids, so I have no idea about these sizes. But yeah, my brother's already saying like, oh, you're not gonna ride a bike. He's a parent, man. I mean, I can understand that. I can understand when a parent says like, but she's 14, obviously, so she's not gonna ride right now. I mean, she can ride with me. Oh, I can make it up. She can ride with me, that's fine. But on her own, yeah, her father's not gonna be chuffed with that probably when she's 16. But we will see, you know. It's like, it doesn't, you know, depend on me only. I even if I can fork out the money, for example, for a scooter or something and buy her that, it's like her father has to give permission for that as well. So it's not like you know, I can just buy it and then she will use it because it's my whim or something. No, it doesn't work like that. It's not my kid. I cannot do that. So in that regard, There's not much I can do if her father says no, you have to be like 18 in order for you to ride. But I think that even as a 16, it's a good way to introduce someone to biking, especially if you have people in a family, for example, in a family, not friends, because friends can be deadly. But in a family, if you have your father and stuff like that riding, it's, I think, better to introduce a kid who is interested in biking to bikes earlier on, so that they can learn on slower things, make those mistakes, and then when they move on in the future, for example, if they want to move on to something faster, they pass their license or something, those mistakes will be less common or won't exist, because they will be used to riding, and they will have attitude from a young age, because they will be kind of indoctrinated, this kind of thing, into riding safely. So I suppose that's one of the things. But it's always parents are worry. Parents worry about their kids. It's understandable, and it's like, I cannot do nothing if my brother says no, you cannot do that, and I can do nothing. I cannot just go against a father of a child and just give her something. It's like, that doesn't work like that. I can't do that. Because if something happens, I insist, and something happens without his permission, then I will take the blame and I would feel like shit. Not only that, I would feel like shit if something would happen to my niece, and I don't want that. So if he protests and says no, then, well, I can do nothing about that. When she's 18, yeah, she can do probably whatever she wants. She is an adult, and then getting a bike will be much less of a problem. Now, my mother used to have a problem with me when but I wasn't 16, obviously. But my mother had a kind of problem with me about bikes. My father, no. My father used to ride bikes, so he did not have a problem with me getting a bike. He understood, and that also kind of, then spoiled it for me, because I said I want to get a bike, and I did. That's it. And I bought it with my own money. So they didn't fork out money for it and stuff like that. I bought it for my own money. And that is, I think, a difference. Because if you ask your parents to buy you something, instead of getting it yourself, or like a present, for example, I would give my niece a bike. I think that's a different story. But if you ask your parents, to buy it for you, they may have problems with it. First of all, they have to buy it. Second of all, they may have problems with you riding. So I suppose that goes there. So yeah, I've ranted a bit, for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it as I see it at this stage. She is too young to try her hands, but on any bike. Obviously, that's not legal for her to do. But at the same time, go-karting, I think, is a good way for her to get accustomed to kind of being on her own in a vehicle. Because go-karting, you don't have to be a driver in order to do go-karting. Bikers and drivers can do go-karting. It's kids are doing that, 8 years old and stuff like that. So it's nothing major. And therefore, I suppose, it's a good way to introduce her to something like that. And if she went a few times, she'd get used to it. If she went with me on a bike on a trip a few times, like just ride around the city a bit, I think that would improve her confidence as well. So obviously, if I start from this age and she's kind of, gets introduced to all that stuff, she'll be much more comfortable on a scooter, for example. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm not gonna bother you anymore. These are my thoughts at the moment about my niece and everything. It's like, yeah, she enjoyed the ride. She was happy, excited. Will it last? I don't know. I mean, she still would like to ride her own bike. She's 14. Children change their mind, man. It's like she can change her mind. But a helmet and boots just to protect her a bit better, just to have that peace of mind. I think that's not a big price to pay. And she will have her own helmet on a go-karting, so she doesn't have to wear those sweaty ones. At the same time, if she rides with me, she will have her own helmet instead of like borrowing my brother or something like that. So yeah, anyway, that's it guys. Thanks for watching. If you like, subscribe, give it a like and so on YouTube. I will see you in my next vlog video, whatever it's gonna be. Have fun out there and blast out.